This is a story of how I took one of these, a splitter very much like this, and turned it into something a little bit like this. What happened is we had a bit of a firewood processing fundraiser for our school. So we had a lot of things turn up that could split wood. I had my horizontal splitter. One guy turned up with this vertical splitter that he'd made. There were a bunch of other homemade splitters like this one, which is a box wedge design, um, quite agricultural in its making and delivery. Um, it seemed to have quite a few problems, so the idea was good, but I think the knives were not angled properly and things got jammed, and um, was a lot of effort. So we'll just watch this one for a little while. One of the nice things here is that the contractor that had this splitter also had that digger in the background. So log lifts weren't actually used a lot. It delivered directly to the table. Not always something you're going to have lying around, I suppose. The next one was this, another box wedge design. This was pretty cool. It was built on the front end of a fairway mower, but as you can see, these things make a lot of chip that's sitting underneath that. And after everyone had gone and I had to clean up, I wasn't a big fan of these box wedges, much more than when I was driving it. Then it was very good, but clean up time, not so much. This one was pretty good. So while everyone was gone and the splitter was left at home, I actually drove it over to the back of the farm and split up a whole lot of pine very quickly. Here we're doing gum, some very big gums, so it's been a lot of chainsaw time cutting these up and turning them into these smaller blocks that we could actually handle. But given a look at all of these, I was quite taken initially by this box wedge design. The fact you put it on, has an arm behind and pulls it back again and just delivers piles of firewood. So, but again, issues it has. It's messy. There's only one size of firewood ever been made. But that it was pretty cool. I used this one quite a bit while it was left at the farm before the owner took it away. And so that got me thinking, well, I could alter my splitter into something like this. Which so that drove me to look at a lot of splitters on the web, a lot of designs, and thought I'd come up with a nice little plan after seeing a few. So mine is basically a stopper at one end and a knife at the other end. So if I was to go box, I'd have to put a knife at the far end and change the knife end to a splitting to a pushing end. And I thought, oh, that's all right. So I drew up some plans and made some. And then I saw one of these and went, actually, this is what I want. I don't want to be bent over. I want to be just standing upright, moving stuff around where it's light, not fighting the blocks as they try to roll off the other side of this thing. So I thought, well, this thing does tilt vertically anyway. All I need to do is lift that up. So I spent a bit of time fabricating a new hinge point that would bring it up to the level when it was tilted of a table. So I did all that and mounted it, and then realized I couldn't actually lift the bloody thing. It was really heavy. So I made some CAD drawings, and said, I've got everything I need to make this. And someone gave me an axle, so I drew it all out on the concrete floor at home. And then started transferring some things over, and I said, well, I've just got to mount the hydraulic box, and that actually holds the engine. And then it's just a matter of making a standoff for the ram itself. So fortunately I put that on the end of my tractor and lifted it to the top, and lined it all up and then welded it. Or when I say welded, I'll say I metallically joined it. I'm not a welder. A few of the issues, the hoses were a bit short now, so quick trip to the hardware shop and I purchased some basically galvanized water fittings, and extended them out. Here's the table, just again some leftover bits of metal I had lying around. So it's 1200 wide by 700 deep. Then put a 3mm plate that I had lying around on top of it, and then painted it with some, again, paint I had lying around. nice Christmas colours of red and green. But as you know, I didn't have that digger either to deliver stuff, so while having a nice vertical, not having to bend over, working height was no good if I still had to pick the stuff up off the ground anyway. So again, so I, raided my daughter's climbing frame. She didn't need this part anymore, um, and made a lift using a cabled system. That's just the lift tucked away, held up with a bungee cord. So I've got a pulley at the top of the frame, and as the ram comes down, it lifts the lifting arm. You can see it in the background here. This is my neighbour cutting up some of his gum that we felled a year ago. I think I'm building him one shortly. And the lifter was lifting very heavy gum without any trouble at all. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps you in your journey of either watching splitters for fun or perhaps making something. Cheers.